Aaron, will you share your full Revert story with us?
Yeah, I'll be happy to. Um, I just want to start with this that I was originally Catholic before. Um, I went to a uh, private Catholic elementary and middle school, so that means like kindergarten through eighth grade. So yeah, during that time, I was just enrolled in private Catholic education, I guess. Um, just learning about the Bible and stuff, and going to mass every Sunday or like twice a week. Like I think it was like Tuesdays and Sundays, I believe. And I think primarily the reason my parents enrolled me within that was for a good education. Um, they weren't particularly religious themselves. They just took me to church and stuff. But the funny thing about V culture, I guess, is that like they're not particularly religious. Like my family is like half Buddhist, and then half like Catholic. So in our culture, it's not they're not specifically religious, but I guess it's really just because they carry the tradition and heritage, I guess, from I guess Catholicism from colonization, and then Buddhism from um, their ancestors, I guess. Um, but yeah. So I was in private Catholic school for like kindergarten through eighth grade, and the doubts. I mean, I was kind of. It's not like anything planted a seed in my mind that Christianity in general was not the true religion. Like I just kind of knew it because number one, like there's so many different denominations. Like I think that in itself is I wouldn't say proof, but a good sign of corruption, you know. And then I know like all the different versions of the Bible. So this was around like seventh or eighth grade. I still believed in God, you know, but I wasn't fully convinced in Christianity. Um, like I can just remember like doing school projects and stuff where we're um, researching saints and stuff, and then literally the only information we have on on the saints we're like through is it like biography.com or like Wikipedia, like think I didn't question it back then, but like think about it now, I'm like, yo, like Jenny, like where is this coming from? Like we have no like authenticated reports, like nothing like chain of narrations that we have in Islam, which like I'll get to that later on why Islam convinced me so much. But yeah, basically the whole turning point when I started looking into Islam was when I went into high school, because because I didn't continue my private Catholic education like into I guess like into high school. I didn't continue my private Catholic education into high school because those high schools are actually like really expensive. They're like basically college level prices for just high school. You know, like 20,000 a year, and like yeah, my parents were like, yeah, like, we're not paying that. So I transferred to a public high school, um, and it was really different for me because being in a Catholic school, I'm literally just surrounded by Catholics. Like that's all I knew, and going into public school and being exposed to all different kinds of cultures and religions, um, yeah, it just made me appreciate the people around me more, and yeah, so with that being exposed to different cultures and religions and stuff, a big part of it was that a big part of my neighborhood was Muslim. So I live in Dallas, Texas. There's a huge Muslim population here, alhamdulillah. And yeah, so really it was just me coming out to the park, playing with my neighbors. Um, yeah, just like playing basketball and stuff with my neighbors. And then, yeah, it was that time when they really explained to me what Islam was. Like before this, I literally didn't know anything about Islam um, except basically American propaganda, you know, like what you see on the news, like just like the war in the Middle East, like the war in the Middle East, like, you know, they're terrorists and stuff like that. And yeah, so it's not like they really did dawah on me, but it was just like I just had it in me. Like I wanted to search for the truth, you know. So number one, like retell this one. I can recall this one time. I was at the park with Ramsey, my friend. Um, I feel like he's like one of the main uh, guys who really introduced Islam to me. Shout out to him. But I remember this one time we were at the park and we were just playing basketball 1-on-1, and there was just like this evangelist or whatever. Like he just walked in the park, and then he just started to like, "Hey, have y'all heard of Jesus or whatever?" I'm like, I was like, you know, and then Ramsey and him just started like talking, you know, and he was sharing what, you know, Islam believes, and then like kind of like I guess not really like a full on debate, but like, you know, questioning his views and arguments and stuff. And from that, like I was still Christian at the time, but like I wasn't really practicing. Like I was going to church, but like my parents would force me to go to church, but like I'd like not be in mass. Like I'd be out in like I guess like a break room kind of area, because it's like the church and the school are like together, you know. So yeah, I just be out there. Like I'm not really like participating in mass or the church. Um, so yeah, so I'm listening to Ramsey's side and then the evangelist or whatever, and I was like, Ramsey's side sounds, you know, like what he's saying about Islam, like his knowledge about it, even though we were like, wait, he's only like a grade above me, like a year older than me. And, you know, it was his arguments sounded way more how do I say it, like logical and reasonable. Um and yeah, that was just one of the few times I guess where it kind of pushed me to research Islam by myself. Um let's see. Basically I guess the main catalyst for me coming to Islam was researching it online myself. And I didn't come to Islam because of emotional reasons. It was, I'm not gonna lie, it was like purely logical and reasonable, logic and reason. It was purely logic and reason. Um, I watched a lot of YouTube debates, especially the Muslim Lantern. If you know him, he's amazing. Like his knowledge, he can recall anything. He knows from the Bible, from the Quran, from Hadith. Like he's crazy. And yeah, he was really taking any argument I've seen him debating, and then like he literally just has the refutation in his head. He has like all the evidences, and he was yeah, a big part in me, you know, being convinced that Islam was like the truth, the objective truth. Um, let's see, like when I decided to take my shahada, like I didn't even read the full Quran. Like I just seen like the preservation of it, the transmission, the miracles of the Quran. Like yeah, like literally how the Quran was composed, and that's the miracle in and of itself. Like yeah, but yeah, I was, let's see here. My shahada wasn't really anything planned. Really, I was just researching on my own, you know, hanging out with my Muslim friends, and through that, I just became more convinced of the faith. Um, and how I took my shahada was, it's kind of funny because like, I just explained the story, but I don't know if you know Epic, East Plano Islamic Center in Dallas. It's a famous masjid. You know, you saw what's his name, Jake Lang or whatever his name is. Like he came to like protest or whatever with this American what is it called, American Crusade. Like I don't even know. Like it's been popping off on the news recently. But yeah, I literally just used to go there to play basketball. And I think it was a Sunday. I'm not sure. This is the summer before my sophomore year of high school. So I go in there, I walk through the front door. Like I'm thinking that I'm just gonna go play basketball. And then I get greeted by my friend. It's a different friend. His name is Abrar. Shout out to him. But yeah, he brought one of his sheikhs, Sheikh Arslan. That's who I took my shahada with. And basically, I'm with my basketball bag. Like I have my hoop shoes with me. I walk through the front door, and then like, I didn't even make it to the basketball court. They just started questioning me like, "Yo, like he introduced himself to me." I'm like, "Yeah." Like we just started talking, and then the main question was he asked me was, "What's stopping me from accepting Islam?" Um, and I replied to him like I thought about it for a little bit. I'm like nothing really. So he was like, "All right, are you down to do it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do it." So this is like at the front doors basically. Like this is in the main like reception room. Like I'm not even in the prayer hall, the masala. And yeah, I just took my shahada right there. Um, yeah, it's really just a spur of the moment kind of thing, but not really. Like I was thinking about it for a while, and yeah, I'm just happy Shaitan didn't delay me from pushing it back and taking it later.